Hey everyone, Steve Schmid. I'm back for another session here. I want to talk about maintenance on their hand pumps. So the maintenance on these pumps is actually pretty minimal. The one thing that is a bit more common that you need to do is just use it, right? I know that's not necessarily maintenance, but if you really want to reduce the maintenance window, meaning not as often, then use the pump on a regular basis. You know, put a couple of gallons through it twice a month. I know it's not always convenient, but it's got rubber seals, right? And when rubber sits for longer, it hardens. When it's used, it stays soft and it'll work better and it'll wear, not as quickly. So definitely use the system. That's the first thing you need to do in regards to maintaining or taking care of your pump. The other thing you'll want to do is you'll want to check some of the different threaded points on the pump that's at the surface, right? You've got your well cap. As you use it, you have some torquing back and forth. The bolts that hold it to the well casing itself may loosen over time. Every 3, 6, 9 months, go in and just check those, tighten them up again. Same goes with the split flange, which holds the actual pump head assembly to the well cap. Just double check that they're tight. The bolts that hold the bracket to the pump head, again on that same 3, 6, 9 months, whatever is convenient. Make sure those 4 bolts are tight. One that you really want to keep an eye on is where the pump rod connects to the clevis. That's that left-hand thread piece. That one over time, depending on how much you're pumping, can loosen up a little bit. And obviously you don't want that to loosen so much that then it strips the threads out. So go out and just tighten it up. It takes a crescent wrench, very easy to do. So really the most common thing to do, and again, that's 3, 6, 9 months, is check those fasteners, make sure they're tight, make sure everything's nice and tight. Other than that, you're going to run into seal replacement. Usually you've got 4 seals down on the piston, and you've got 2 seals up on the rod gland. Now, if you have an older pump, it may be different than that, but our current number of seals are 4 down on the piston and 2 up at the rod gland. Depending on where you're at, if you get a lot of sun and that rod gland gets a lot of heat, you may need to replace those rod gland seals sooner than you have to replace the piston seals. But typically you can expect anywhere from, say, 5 to 15 years life out of those seals, especially if you use the pump more often. What's going to impact that is your water composition. So if you have high mineral solids or sand in your well, obviously those seals are going to have more abrasion that they come into contact with because of those minerals or that sand. If you have very, very clean water, then obviously they're going to have just the wall of the cylinder, which is quite smooth. So the frequency of it, the water composition is really going to dictate that maintenance cycle. So what you want to look for in regards to when do I have to maintenance these seals? The first thing on the rod gland that you'll want to see is there water coming out between the rod gland and the pump rod? If you're starting to leak water there, that means that those seals have started to wear and they need to be replaced. We do have a video that shows you how to replace those seals, both for our old style of rod gland as well as our new one. We can provide those links for you here on the video. And then when looking at your piston seals, the best indication to know when you need to change those seals is that you start to see a reduction in output. So knowing that your 100 CA should put out about 4 to 4.5 ounces per stroke, your 125 CA should put out 8 to 8.5 ounces per stroke, and your 200 CA should put out about 20 ounces per stroke. If you see a serious decline in that, if you're getting half of that, and you were originally getting the normal amount, well, then your seals are starting to wear out. The water is blowing past those seals as it's trying to push them up to the surface, or push it up to the surface. So that's the way to figure out if you need to maintain your piston seals. And we obviously have instructions or videos on how to change the piston seals, which we can give you the links for here as well. So if you have any questions about this, need any additional details on what to do there, you can always give us a call. Please don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.